There is a natural S configuration to the spine, and that configuration allows us to have a certain spring. So the old adage that you might have heard from grandma and grandpa was, so-and-so's got a spring to their step. Absolutely right. We have an arch in our feet, we have a bend to our knees, we have a curve to our spine that allows us to walk, and it allows us to absorb energy. And so as we move through Earth, if you will, with gravity pulling down on us, it allows us to kind of act like a spring. When we tuck our head forward, when we lose tone of our muscles, then the spine begins to degenerate. And believe it or not, that's actually a natural process for the spine in an adverse environment. That's the difficulty. So the spine is saying, hey, if you're not going to move side to side, then I'm going to start to fuse everything in this sagittal plane. And so now we see pain, we see bone spurs, we see pain down an arm or down a leg. We see a variety of musculoskeletal complaints with neurologic types of pain under the guise of cervical or spinal spondylosis or spondylomyelopathy, and a whole variety of medical terms, if you will, that to the average person that says, hey, I hurt.
What happens is, if I start to lose this advantage over gravity by having a spring-like system in my body that was designed like that, if it starts to straighten out, then what ends up happening is I put more pressure on a couple different areas of the spine, okay? This is where you'll see like x-rays. Look at the discs at the top of a neck. Almost across the board, you will never see big, massive degenerative changes in disc in the upper part of the neck. But in the middle part of the neck, C5, C6, C4, C5, C6, it almost invariably wears out.
The way our spine has been designed is to allow us for the most possible movement. However, with the increase in flexibility, you also have an increase in vulnerability. So when you're more vulnerable, now you're going to have potential issues of injury. And I don't just mean injury like a trauma injury. I mean like repetitive injuries, sort of like if your kid's texting all the time like this, keeping your head down for hours at a time is an injury, but it's a slow injury, so it's a repetitive injury versus a quick injury like a car accident or a football. What these repetitive injuries do is they will take the spinal curves and they will change them. So instead of them being a nice forward curve like this, they will straighten up, or in some cases in the neck, they'll actually have a reverse curve. And it has been shown in studies that people who have necks that are straight or necks that are reversed have a lot more potential problems than people who have a nice forward curve.